Hello, my name is Krista Powers and I'm a professional photographer. Today I'm recording this video as an invitation to anyone who is at all piqued in curiosity or resonates at all with what I'm about to share. Basically, about 12 years ago, I had an accident, which was traumatic, that triggered within me a series of autoimmune illness, which are invisible illness. From the moment that I received my diagnosis, well, I went through a series of, you know, emotions and a huge grieving process, if you will, of the changes this diagnosis meant for my life, right? That I would have to learn to accept that there's this new normal in my life. It took 12 years, really. I have good days and I have bad days, but it's an invisible illness. And when I received the diagnosis, one of the things I did feel is a sense of relief. Finally, I had a name, a label for what I was suffering with, and it wasn't all in my head, and I wasn't crazy. So there was that. Then there was this instant, I need to connect with other people who live with invisible illness, and we need to share our stories, and we need to connect, and we need to make the invisible visible. So I did have that calling 12 years ago when I had my diagnosis. And it's always been there in the background as something I would explore as an artist, and the time is now. I woke up today still recovering from a cold in the middle of a flare up. It's not my worst day, but it's not a great day. And I needed to record this video because it's not about being perfect or speaking properly. It's about being raw and real. And this photo series is all about that. What I'm asking for is if you resonate at all with being invisible in your life and the lives around you, and you want to be seen, I ask that you come forward and allow me to photograph you. We will go on a photographic creative journey together, and we will explore your story, and we will show you who you are, maybe what you live with in some form or another. We'll create that together, whatever you're willing to show, in a photo series project that will end up in an exhibit. So you have to be okay with being out there, with sharing your story, with being visible, because we're going to make the invisible visible. And it's so important. Like, one of the biggest helps for me in my healing has been able to connect with friends and other people who understand what I live with or can resonate with that. And it's given me hope, it's given me strength, it's given me courage. Just this week, when I was laid up in bed, I was watching, videos, scrolling on social media, on Facebook, which is probably where you're seeing this now. And I saw an interview with the actress Selma Blair. And when Selma Blair was interviewed, have you seen the interview? I mean, go watch it. She's in the middle of an MS, multiple sclerosis flare up, and she's allowed herself to be so courageous and brave and vulnerable and be interviewed in the middle of a flare up, which most people hide, right? What do you do when you're in a flare up? You hide, you keep it secret. You don't want other people to judge you. You don't want people to worry about you. You don't want to be a burden. You absolutely want to show your best and be strong. But this is not really part of the human experience. Human experience is not perfection. It's often messy, and it's very raw and real, and we deal with all kinds of things in our lives. So invisible can be anything from living with an invisible illness. It can be like mental illness. It can be PTSD. It can be, you're grieving the loss of a loved one. You could be dealing with separation, divorce. You could be a newcomer. You could be elderly. There's many ways that their invisibility shows up as a theme in our life. So if you have a story and your story relates to being invisible or invisibility, I want to hear from you. And I would love to be able to share your story through a photographic journey and series, most likely in black and white, but we'll see. I'm not going to limit my creative process just yet. We will explore and create this together. So what I will do is there will be a Google ad form at the end of this video. And if you're interested, you click on that, you fill it out. I'll receive the copy. I will read through them. You'll have to answer these questions, and we will arrange to talk on the phone or through email and meet up in person for coffee and have a chat and get to know each other, and hopefully we become friends. And I think I'm pretty easy to get along with, most people, I think. And we will go on this journey together. Um, when I talked about this with a friend this morning, there was a couple of friends I had to talk to and tell them, I have this crazy idea. I think I need to do it like today, like in the middle of this flare up. I have to record this video, and they're like, "Yeah, go for it." And I asked a friend, I said, when we leave, like, when we leave this earth, when we leave this world, what do we truly leave behind? As a photographer, one of the first things I think of is we do leave behind photographic prints. So it's so important as a photographer, I feel, to print my images, and I haven't been doing it enough. So this desire to put it in a physical print exhibit is very real to me and very important, because that's a legacy we can leave behind for many years, right? Digital files can, just disappear and get deleted, and computers can crash and viruses and whatnot, but a physical print, a photographic print, can be around for many, many years, long after you're gone and leave this world. But when I asked her, what do we leave behind, the first thing she said, it was so profound. I had goosebumps, shivers all over my body, and I asked her if I could share it anonymously in the video, and she said yes. And she said it through tears, was our love. We leave behind our love. Now, she's lost a loved one in the last couple of years, so that's very real for her, and she is absolutely right. What do we leave behind? Our love. And this is what she said. She said, what remains is our love. Our love is eternal. And I mean, really, can you get more real and truthful than that? That is absolutely what we leave behind. So through this exhibit, I would like to be able to leave behind your story of love and share this with others, to perhaps give a helping hand to someone who's struggling, who maybe feels alone with whatever they're dealing with, in helping to make this invisible more visible. So yeah, that's basically it. Let's make the invisible visible. There's gifts to invisible illnesses, and there's gifts to these invisible themes in our life, and they can absolutely be gifts to other people. So let's do that together. Thank you for listening.